fuck the Lakers. I don't care, but he's pretty good. So it's just amazing to see that like this happened, and then Anthony Davis is out for like the next month.
Bro, that is again. Fucking serious funny shit though, actually. Like everyone's been talking about how his injury, like he's gonna get injured, and fucking sure enough, just boom goes the dynamite, baby. Boom goes the fucking dynamite.
And it sucks because it's fucking non-contact. You know, he just like his poor little groin just said, "No, I'm not playing today."
He's definitely had a pretty rough history. Like he's like obviously not as bad as Zion Williamson. That guy's the worst. But as far as like durability is concerned, jeez, he's had a rough go.
That's why his nickname is Mr. Glass.
I didn't even know that was his nickname. See, I don't pay attention to the NBA.
Oh, I do. Especially starting right now. From now until fucking June. And college hoops as well. Because got to get ready for the tournament next month.
So during the game yesterday, I was having a conversation with somebody. And they were about to do the tush push, and I started fucking going off as usual. Because, you know, not part of football, blah, 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 blah. And dude came at me with a hockey reference back. Because I was like, you know, if you're pushing somebody, they're not in control of themselves. And that's just like not safe if someone's going to run into you, like, you know, head first or be it, you know, however it is. It's just kind of like putting a quarterback in danger. So, you know, for the NFL to be worried about player safety, yada, yada. You've heard this all before. And he goes, well, they should change hockey then. I was like, pardon? He was like, yeah, they should change hockey. You know, we were talking earlier how it's hard for people to control their bodies when they're trying to throw hits on ice. So, you know, hockey should change that. I was like, has nothing to do with what I was just talking about, but thanks for playing, sir. Thanks for fucking showing up.
That makes zero sense to me.
I was thoroughly confused. I'll actually show you the clip of it. It was live. Very confusing. Very confusing. Yeah. That was a horrible game, Jerry.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on what side you were cheering for.
Does it though? That was just a bad football game. Like it was not a good, exciting, competitive game at all. Does it really matter who you're cheering for?
I think it would be hard to find a single Philly fan that's going to tell you that was a bad football game.
I mean, to every single Philadelphia fan who bet money on Saquon Barkley for the anytime touchdown, I'm sure they have something to say about that. And probably his rushing prop.
It didn't happen.
I'm saying
I wasn't surprised that didn't happen though, because like if there was one thing that the Chiefs did do is they kept him in check. They stopped him from running all over him.
Yeah.
Instead, they let Jalen Hurts do that.
Fucking Jalen Hurts. Fuck you, Jalen Hurts. Thank you for joining us on another episode of the Fucked Up Fantasy Football Podcast. Co-host Corey Roussel, Jerry Rodriguez. Terrible football game. Boring as shit. And the only scores that the Chiefs really had were nothing but garbage time. Boring as shit. Best part, definitely Super Bowl halftime show.
Oh man.
Go. It was the smile, Jerry. It was the
Say
Drake, and then just this ridiculous, like, oh my god.
I lost my mind when he did that part. I was like, he said his name, and
So
he's like, oh god, yeah. Well, there were so many things going on in there. So many. First of all, the most obvious, he's wearing an A minor chain.
Yes, that was fantastic.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Let's start there. The crowd says A minor right with him. He has both SZA and Serena Williams there,
Dude,
who both dated Drake.
Serena Williams one was hilarious. When I saw her on the screen, I was like,
I didn't think that was her.
I said it right away. I was like, that is fucking Serena. If that's Serena Williams, I'm gonna fucking. I'm like, that has to be hilarious, dude. Fucking hilarious.
She lost like 30 pounds. So she because she had gained a little weight. I mean, she was always a bigger girl because she's a muscle monster.
Yeah.
But she looked really, really skinny, and I mean, a lot of that was baby weight. But yeah, man, I saw it today, and I was like, oh, that really was her. Okay, good for her. And yeah, she just sea walking like a motherfucker. That was, that was. I mean, if he's not done, like, what else is there like to say or do? Like, it's just
murdered.
There's nothing like he and game over at the very end. Like,
oh yeah, super over on a PlayStation controller. Like, that was just, dude.
Man, there was so much to unpack, but it was awesome.
So fantastic. My only complaint is that he didn't play any it was basically just like a promo for his tour. There wasn't like a bunch of King Kunta, Good Kid, Mad City. Like,
only song that was old was All the Stars.
Yeah,
that was it. That was the only song that wasn't on GNX.
So that was kind of interesting, I thought. But I don't know. Maybe that's what they do now. It's just about the new stars and the new-ish stars and what they're currently playing right now, and they don't do their old shit. Maybe that's the point of the Super Bowl thing. The halftime show has changed so much in the last 10 years. 20 years is, I mean, even more ridiculous. But do you remember where you were when Janet Jackson decided to show us her titty?
I don't want to say. I mean, I was in South Florida. I know that. I don't know exactly where I was, but yeah. I mean, that was a thing. I love how they called it a wardrobe malfunction.
I was at my grandmother's house, Jerry.
Nice.
Yeah, I was at my grandmother's house, and I remember there's a bunch of us there. It's probably like 15, 20 people or so watching that in the living room. And yeah, fucking hilarious. We were all quite shocked. Absolutely hilarious.
Mm-hmm. Yep. It was a hell of a day. It was a hell of a day.
Jerry, let's get this season over with.
All right.
Jerry. This evening, I am rolling with a golden oldie, a 1920 Old Forester, Prohibition style. I decided to go for a nice, stiff bourbon today. Definitely had a little bit of bourbon yesterday, but I figured I might as well go for the glory again tonight.
Yeah, I'm taking the night off. And when you polish off a half a bottle and you wake up on the couch still.
Yeah, day off is in need after that, not gonna lie.
I mean, I didn't feel any kind of way though. Like, I wasn't hungover or nothing like that. That's the beauty of these bourbons I drink, and the fact that I drink them neat. I'm fine the next day. Maybe a little tired, maybe a little but no headache, no hangover, none of that shit. Like, no, I'm good. I am good.
You're a champion, all man, Jerry.
Maybe. Some people might just say I'm an alcoholic. I don't know.
True. Do you go to meetings?
No. Because see, that's what alcoholics do.
Yeah.
And my mom didn't raise a quitter.
That means you're just a drunk.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I agree with that.
Thank you. Thank you very much. The Philadelphia Eagles 40 and the Taylor Swift Chiefs 22. Patrick Mahomes 21 for 32, 257, 3 touchdowns, 2 interceptions, 6 sacks, 4 carries for 25 yards. Xavier Worthy 8 receptions for 157 yards, 2 touchdowns. Travis Kelce, 4 for 39. Philadelphia Eagles, Jalen Hurts. I hate you. 17 for 22, 221 yards, 2 touchdowns, 1 interception, 2 sacks. He also carried the ball 11 times for 72 yards and a touchdown, which should be disallowed. Saquon Barkley, 25 carries for 57 yards. Devonta Smith, 4 for 69 and a touchdown. A.J. Brown, 3 for 43 and a touchdown. Did you see A.J. Brown's touchdown celebration?
Yeah, I did. It was what's his name? Jameis had said something to him to do it. And he did it.
Correct. Jameis Winston gave him a celebration suggestion during Super Bowl week. God bless Fox News. Or Fox Sports, I should say. Fox News travesty. Fox Sports, God bless you. Whoever in that boardroom came up with the idea to give Jameis Winston a fucking microphone on Super Bowl week absolutely crushed it out of the park. I just want to say that. That was some of the funniest fucking viral content all 2 weeks, Jerry. We were just ripping Jameis reels back and forth all 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like those were. And then all these reels that are coming out with him and Bert Kreischer sitting in the crowd are fucking hilarious. Have you seen any of those ones?
I haven't seen those. I just the one that stays with me right now is when he was talking to the W beignet.
Oh my God.
He was doing the voice. No, I'm just a beignet.
Dude. He was in the stands with Kreischer, and there is this exchange about Jameis returning a punt, and Jameis saying that special teams is the scariest fucking thing he's ever done before. It's like 11 ostriches running after you with a piece of corn tied to your chin. And,
okay.
And it goes from there. It's a fucking hilarious exchange. I'm gonna make if I haven't sent it to you already, I'm gonna make sure I send that one to you. It's fucking fantastic.
That's funny. It's really funny.
Jerry, this is a horrible football game. I know you might disagree with me on this one because you're saying that it, potentially could be depending on what side that you are on. But that first half was just like actually sloppy, boring football from like either team. There's the one tush push, but other than that, it was just a really just a whatever first half. Which I know most Super Bowls are pretty slow, but still, this was another slow start to a Super Bowl. Thoughts?
I mean, what I did think was like, holy shit, I'm a goddamn fortune teller, because that first half was everything I said it was going to be. Except for I didn't think that the Eagles were going to do as well on offense and on defense. I thought both sides would be pretty evenly matched in the first half, where it would be a feeling out process and all of that. And it seemed like it was heading that direction. But I told everybody, I was like, if that number is 24 and a half under, take that shit. It pushed at 24. I think it closed at 23 and a half. So that wouldn't have helped anybody. But yeah, I was very upset with myself because since I had gotten home from work at 6 p.m., I had to really scramble to take a shower, get ready, get comfy, and then get all my plays in. And one of them that I regretfully did not put in, that I totally forgot about, because I did proceed to get very, very stoned when I got home. So my priorities were not with putting in my plays right away. I wanted to take the Eagles in the first half big, and damn it, I'm so mad at myself that I didn't. But I did have a total of, I was, that meme with the guy from Nintendo, doing the hand thing to the other Nintendo, the Yamamoto guy, and it's like, oh, this is how we send memes back and forth, and it's just like the shit's just flying. That was me with bets yesterday. I fired off 12 bets on that game. I was, yeah, Jesus. It was quite crazy. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and I went 5 and 7. But a lot of them were just like pizza money ones. The biggest one that I did say on the last recording that I was going to do was that teaser. That hit with ease. I instead of doing a normal 7-point teaser or 6-point teaser, I did a 7 because I didn't want the number to sit at +7 for the Eagles, because if it pushes, I would lose. So I did a 7-point teaser, and I had Philly +8 and over 41. So that was easy work right there. And then I did, in my drunkenness at one point, fire a big live bet, Chiefs +24, that came in. So, my props, let me see. I had Kelsey over 60.5, loser. Mahomes over 5.5 rush attempts, loser. Mahomes over 31.5 yards rushing, loser. Noah Gray over 1.5 receptions, loser. Goddard over 4.5 receptions, loser. And then I took that largest margin of victor, the largest lead or whatever, under 14.5, big time loser. National anthem, under 2 minutes or over 2 minutes, loser.
No.
So,
God damn it.
Yeah, that one didn't come through. I thought, and when he was like, when Ron Batiste or John Batiste, whatever his name is, when he started kind of ad-libbing at the end, I was like, oh, he's going to stretch this out. And yeah, it never happened. But again, I did say I had KC +24 live. That hit. I did have Devontae Smith score a touchdown at +190. That hit. I had his over in his yards, over 51.5. That hit. Jalen Hurts over 210.5 passing yards. That hit. And that's it on my little thing here. So luckily, even though I went 5 and 7, the teaser, the Jalen Hurts, and the Devontae Smith props were higher plays, so they made up for the pizza money ones that I lost. But I had a good time. It was fun. Halftime ended up happening as we discussed. That was awesome. I was just giddy. I was like a little child at that point. I was fucking loving it. It was so awesome. And then third quarter started, and I was thinking like, hey, I think KC's gonna try and pull a New England over here, and they're gonna make this interesting. Never happened. It never happened. Nope. It was crazy. It was crazy because that may have been because they were saying today on ESPN and all that stuff that was like the second lowest QB rating that Mahomes has ever had. That was 100% the worst game I've ever seen him play.
Yeah, for sure.
Like he got dominated. He had no time. Like the one thing we didn't talk about was how KC had been having problems with their offensive line. We kind of forgot about it because they kept winning games. But the one thing I do recall saying is that I feel like the Eagles, position for position, were better than KC at almost every spot, except for, like, you could argue quarterback. Yesterday, it was clearly quarterback. Wide receiver, 100%. Tight end, I don't know. I felt like that was kind of a wash. But most importantly, the offensive and defensive line, oh, my God. It was absolute dominance, man. They did whatever they wanted with these guys. They just smacked them around.
Dallas Goedert didn't eat as he predicted. That definitely didn't go down. Yeah. He had a whatever game, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, and the thing is, he didn't need to have a good game. Like, it was really all Jalen Hurts. Like he managed the game perfectly. He didn't make any mistakes or anything like that. When he needed to run, he ran. He was efficient, and so was the entire team. That Eagles defense was nasty, man. They were nasty. I mean,
that was definitely
you don't do that to Mahomes.
Yeah,
you don't do that to Mahomes.
They
It just
they came through pretty big time. I don't even think that they blitzed once in the entire game.
they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't. Not one. It was a straight 4-man rush the entire night.
That's hilarious.
That
I was going to go
it.
watch that because I was saying that today. I was like, I don't remember them blitz. I was talking with a guy at work about it today, and I was like, I don't remember them blitzing. I'm like, I got to go double check and take a look at the film again like I always do, but I'm pretty sure they didn't blitz once.
They did not.
That's crazy.
They played a lot of cover 4.
Man, yeah. So they just knew like that the Kansas City wide receivers were going. They're just overmatched them in almost every single way, except Worthy just having like ridiculous.
Yeah, that was it.
His talent is outrageous. He's a really good receiver, but they need somebody else. Like that, just they could not.
100%.
They could not come through. That was frustrating as hell to watch.
And they're in salary cap. I don't want to say hell, but they don't have a lot of money. I think they only have like $5 million.
Jesus, that's actually kind of crazy.
So
I'm just surprised that for somebody who I know he hasn't been in the NFC East in a while, but it's not like he hasn't seen the Eagles in a while and understand their pedigree and just kind of, Spagnuolo got fucking smacked. He got absolutely overmatched and smacked. Like that was just, I mean, he did a great job on it was like the only thing he focused on in the last 2 weeks was making sure that they couldn't run. Other than that, he just completely forgot the assignment of the rest of the game and forgot that Skinny Batman and AJ Brown are two pretty top tier receivers combined. One's, I think, an elite receiver, and the other one is not too far behind that at this point in time. That was just a clinic that those two guys put on. Like some of those catches, just nasty sandwiches.
Yeah, that touchdown was insane.
I was not impressed with the first 2 calls out on the outside there. I thought that to have a Super Bowl game, you should probably let the wide receivers and defensive backs kind of mess around a little bit, and they were having none of that. They were calling pass interference and holding just right away off a pretty questionable-ish. I mean, AJ Brown always pushes off. He does it all the fucking time, but good receivers do. And so, yeah, I was kind of surprised that they decided to take that approach, but it ended up working out and they didn't get as involved as I thought they were going to be. But I just thought both of those calls were pretty interesting to make in a Super Bowl game because you really got like it's it's on the line. Like this is it. We've previously seen body checks happen out there on the outside and not get called. So to have just kind of some chintzy hand fighting and in a fucking playoff game was. I thought that was a little bit weird, but again, I'm glad that it didn't get too much of a topic in the game overall.
Philly just took them out of their offensive game plan altogether. Like once KC realized they couldn't run the ball, it's like they gave up on it. They didn't try anymore. They just said we can't do it. And then by that time, the pass rush was just completely swallowing up that offensive line. Because guys were open. He couldn't get the ball out. He could not get the ball out whatsoever. So kudos to them for that, man. They went out there and they did the damn thing. I mean, the better team clearly won. And you had to think that the way KC had been winning games all season, that at some point their deficiencies or shortcomings, however you want to describe them, we're going to come back and get them.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, yes, they have the brilliant coaching minds there, very talented coaching staff. Andy Reid is amazing. He's a future Hall of Famer.
Definitely.
Spags, future Hall of Famer. Yep. Nagy had been doing a pretty decent job coaching Mahomes and stuff like that, keeping him upright and keeping him healthy and all those good things. But their luck had to run out at some point, and it did, and it did in a big kind of way, because I mean they got smacked. I mean that was just crazy. I did not. I mean, I don't think anybody did, but didn't see it coming down to something like that. It was embarrassing. That was absolutely embarrassing.
I absolutely agree. It and a bummer, honestly. It's like 22 weeks to see a fucking unbalanced game. Like it's kind of nice when you spend 22 weeks and get a banger of a Super Bowl. So
yeah,
that one just lacked all excitement the entire time, I felt.
Yeah, and honestly, it felt like there was a a good chance that, when we had come down to the Final Four, the 2-2 in each conference, it was like, oh, you know what? No matter who wins, we should have a pretty decent. Nope, didn't happen like that.
No.
It did not. Like Philly was not going to be denied. They were absolutely locked in, and they kicked the shit out of the Chiefs. And there's a lot of people that are very happy that are not just Philly fans, because it seems like everybody wanted to see that happen. I just were so sick of KC, and I don't know. I agree with the minority that I don't hate KC. I'm not tired of them winning. Like, you don't get to see this kind of thing happen too often, where you see greatness like this, and the fact that they were trying to make history with a three-peat. I mean, and people, they want to see something different. You know how hard it is to do what they did. Like, they deserve some credit for that.
Definitely.
It's really, really hard, and I really dislike how, the media is now trying to change the narrative. Oh, well, do we discuss Mahomes in a GOAT conversation anymore now after that beating? Like, are you serious, man? Like, the guy's been to the AFC Championship game every single year of his career. He's not made the Super Bowl, what is it, twice in that span? And now he's lost 2 of them, but he's got 3? Like, I don't know, man. It's still too early to even try to put him in any kind of a GOAT conversation, but to say that he's not one of the greatest because of yesterday, are you insane? Like, come on, man. The guy.
That sounds like ESPN begging to talk about a boring Super Bowl still the day after, in my opinion.
Pretty much, and it's just. It's just so stupid. I hate that they do that. That they have to be like, oh, well, we're going to spin it in a certain kind of way, and we're going to throw some shade on this guy's. No, man, what? Like, they got lucky a lot this year, yes, but they still got there. And yes, they got embarrassed. They got their asses kicked, but they still got there. I don't know, man. I hated how people, and the other part, the hindsight. Oh, Baltimore would have played a better game. Oh, Buffalo would have played. How the fuck do you know that? Like, what evidence do you have that would have been the case? Like, are you serious? You goddamn chode? Like, come on. You gotta be kidding me, man. Like,
yeah, that part's definitely weird to me for sure. I don't really understand people who say that. That makes no fucking sense to me whatsoever. If you wanted to know how they did, they should have not lost, and they should have beat it to the Super Bowl. How about that? But they didn't, because they weren't good enough to get there. So how can you say that a team that wasn't good enough to get there going to beat the team that won the whole thing? You're crazy.
Yeah, you're delusional.
100%.
And you clearly don't understand the way this game works, because that's a bunch of horse shit. Like, don't do that.
People are weird.
And what's even worse are the people who are fans of those 2 teams saying that.
Oh yeah, that's dumb.
Like, I get it if you're just some dumbass who's just, oh, I got a good hot take, and you're gonna say something dumb. Okay, cool. You're an idiot. You're an even bigger idiot if you're a fan of either one of those teams and you said, oh, well, my team would have done better. Really? Really? You know what they did really well? They sat on their couch and watched the game just like the rest of America did.
Did you see, we didn't talk about it, but did you happen to see Rashad Bateman's tweet or whatever about how butthurt he was that he wasn't playing in the game?
No.
Oh, man. Yeah, he put out this tweet about how he was super upset because the Chiefs were personal with him or something like that, and I don't know, it was a little bananas for sure. He just clearly seemed like a sore loser. No, a little fucked.
Not surprised one bit. I don't get it, man.
It is what it is.
It's so easy to say that. It's so easy to just say that kind of stuff.
I mean, this was almost the most boring Super Bowl, like in lead up to it. Next to the fucking Patriots Seahawks Super Bowl, which I never watched a single play of. It's the only Super Bowl where I haven't watched a single play of since I started watching NFL football in like 94? 93? Somewhere in there. 93? Yeah, 93, maybe 92. I don't know. I'm getting old. Back when the Cowboys were good. That's why I don't remember it, because it was that long ago. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Back when the Cowboys were good.
Yeah, right. Fuck me. Back in the day. Yeah, so I guess it kind of lived up to it. At least I watched it. I just only really wanted to watch the halftime show, which was banging. So, yeah, shout out to the cked for that shit for sure.
Yeah, I thought it was excellent.
Anything else regarding the game, Jerry?
No, not really. Like you said, I'm gonna echo it a little bit. It wasn't the best game, but I did enjoy it for the most part, just because I think I enjoy the spectacle. I think I enjoy the event.
Yes.
More than the actual game. I was getting more and more excited as the day was going on, and while I was at work, and I was really like, I couldn't wait to get out and then get home and all that. And I went straight to the liquor store and got myself some liquor, got myself another bottle of Buffalo Trace, and man, it was exciting. And then we had some good eats and everything, and it was a good time. It was a good time. But yeah, I wish the game would have been a little more dramatic, but can't have that every time.
I had a fantastic charcuterie board going down. We had 3 different cheeses and some homemade meats, some like Korean barbecue flavored meat, and a little bit of jam, some crackers, all from the farmer's market, beef jerky as well. It was a good show. Chicken wings as well from the same people that made the man, and they were not split. They were unsplit, so I haven't done that in a little while.
Oh yeah, the whole wing. Huh?
Yeah, bro, the wing
with the gnarly pointy part.
That chicken wing, bro.
Nice.
Yeah, that was a good time, and lots of bourbon, of course. I think I mentioned that.
Oh yeah, that was the main course.
Right. All right, Jerry. Let's interrupt this regular scheduled programming for a special announcement. All right, folks. Well, this is a end of an era. Actually, this is the last episode of the Fucked Up Fantasy Football Podcast. It has been 4 seasons and 198 episodes, I believe, is what I put up on the last one. Could be 199. But it's been an absolute fucking blast. And don't worry, kids. I'm definitely not going away. I'm not going to stop talking about fantasy football. And even Jerry isn't going to go away. He's forced to come with me as well on this new adventure. We're rebranding this podcast. I'm leaving the Fucked Up Fantasy Football moniker behind. It was a good test experiment and to understand what's going on. But in order for me to get a audience that is easily sponsorable, we'll put it that way, I need to get out of this name and come with something different. The other thing as well is that we don't only talk about fantasy football. We kind of just really love the sport of football. So we're going to give that to you folks. I'm really excited for this next chapter, to say the least. There's going to be a bunch of more information to follow through. For now, just stay subscribed to this current podcast, and I will have a welcome trailer come out to point you in the right direction and let you know what the new name will be. But yeah, Jerry, I appreciate you coming on this adventure with me. You're here for half of the adventure. 2 years, of course. I had a different co-host on here, but I think you did really well, man. I think you had you definitely got your feet wet in the podcasting world, which, as you could tell, was definitely not an easy thing in the beginning. It's definitely a little different. And yeah, I think you're definitely getting better. We're definitely gonna continue to have you on in degenerative form as always. The bets form of the new podcast is obviously going to be involving Jerry, because Jerry's honestly one of the biggest betting degenerates that I know in my fucking life. It's not even close, and not necessarily in a bad way. Jerry wins some money once in a while, to say the least. So yeah, I'm excited. I'm actually looking really forward to this for sure.
I just like action. I just like to have action.
Yeah, I can tell. I can't wait till you send me some tickets where you're like betting on like fucking, I don't know, like pheasant races in Scotland or some shit. Like
Pheasant races in Scotland. I thought you were gonna say, you know, the wife tossing world championships in Finland.
Jesus.
You know. something crazy like that. I don't know. I mean, you know, it reaches a new low when you start gambling on stuff like that.
Oh yeah, 100%.
On curling.
Oh god. Okay, that's a regular thing up here. That you can't necessarily not curling here in Canada. It's kind of like a semi-national sport in a way, Jerry.
It's not. I'm not talking bad about the sport. I'm talking bad about anybody who's betting on it.
Yeah, I mean that's true. That's I don't even know how. Yeah. The records are going to carry forward too, by the way. We're definitely obviously still going to be playing the wives. That's going to be a thing. For anybody who's counting at home, though, Molly is currently the all-time leader. She also snuck ahead in the season 62-37, which is now a single-season record for most wins, as I had the previous record of 61 last year. So Molly sneaks in at 118 wins overall to get into the lead there, and I'm at 109. So 9 more wins for Miss Molly. And yeah, I mean, Jerry, you got some work to do. You got some work to do. Bit. Just saying. Brooke is just shy of the 100 mark, coming in at 96 and 97. So not too bad, actually. And Jerry, I mean, you had a bad year this year. Last year, thank God you did better than we thought you did. But currently, Jerry, for the record, you have racked up 96 losses, and you have 89 wins. So not terrible. You know, but this year just
not good.
Really, yeah, not good. Still not winning money, buds. But you're fucking close. You're fucking close. Anything else, Jerry, before we get to the last outro ever of this degenerate fucking podcast, or what?
No, I don't have anything really. You were a lone wolf loser.
Yeah, this week was not. I knew as soon as I saw that I was going lone wolf, I knew that this wasn't going to go right for me. Not going to lie. It just, that's been the way it is. I've not had great success being the lone wolf this year at all. It's actually been an indication. I think only once I've actually won that scenario, if I remember correctly. But anyway, thank you, everybody. I hope that you all will continue to follow us and join us for this next iteration, because I think you're all going to like it. It's going to provide a little bit more resources for you if you want to attempt to take us seriously, because now that you understand that we do win some money, we do win some championships, and we win multiple championships in a year. So you should probably follow us and tell some of your friends, and we'll have a little bit more of a friendly name to send to y'all folks, so you don't say, hey, what podcast do you listen to? Well, I listen to the Fucked Up Fantasy Football. You can't really yell that across the room without some negative attention, so I'm getting onto that. Getting to it. Thank you for joining us for the last episode of the Fucked Up Fantasy Football podcast. Your co-host, Corey Roussel, Jerry Rodriguez. Jerry, we got 1 minute. What do you got for the people?
We're gonna come back bigger, badder, and better than ever, and it's gonna be fun because from what you've told me, it's gonna be interesting. It's gonna be quite interesting. I'm very excited about this.
Man, we're gonna become household names, Jerry. That's what's gonna go down. That's the part that I'm stoked about for sure. 100%. 100%. Let's get it, kid. Let's get it!
Yeah, I think I need to learn how to right algorithms or something.
Oh my god, trying to figure out the algorithm in itself is just a whole other fucking, trust me, it's like keep me up at night, that's for sure. But at least
clearly my strong suit.
At least we have a proper category, and it's not like my cannabis podcast where it's like fucking like Ghost Band and like all sorts of other shit, and I can't get sponsorship either because the name's the name's good. It's just cannabis, so fucking people are antsy about that. Anyways,
it's the devil's lettuce.
Kids, folks, thank you so much. I sincerely appreciate all the support, and stay tuned for our next quick trailer update of our new name, new podcast, new place to follow us. I appreciate you all, and I hope to see you on the next chapter. Have a wonderful summertime, and springtime, I guess, because there's going to be a draft episode under the new pod. So get ready for that, kids. Anyways, fuck you, Jerry. Fuck the Giants. And go Cowboys, as painful as that is to say right now.
Yeah, whatever. Bye.
Peace.